Hey, everybody. It's the last show of the year, and it's episode 18 of My Evening Hour. Oh, yeah, let's have some fun. What's up? Wow. That was crazy. I just made that up. So, anywho, there's my thing. Guys, what a crazy day today. I just made that up on the spot. I hope you liked that. Goofing around here. I'm in a silly mood today. It's the last show of the year. Let's have fun. My name is Cardone, and welcome to my evening hour. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. It looks like we're up and running. Occasionally, this show, it just cuts, and then I try to reboot it, and sometimes it doesn't. If that happens, go to Instagram, Cardone Magic. And if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe, notify, everybody says it on their shows. Anywho, there you go, Moxie. My buddy Lou Johnson gave me a 12-pack the other day, and cheers. I don't drink a lot of soda, but when somebody gives me Moxie, I party with it. If you've ever had it, I should do a whole show on just Moxie. It is the oldest bottled soda. Oh, thank you. It's my surfy hat. This soda tastes like gentian root, which is what they use to make bitters. Who said it? Jimmy G from Murphy's Law today commented on my thing. He said that it's like the soda version of Jägermeister. And boy, did I used to like Jägermeister. Black tea for William. That's a good drink. Folks, to 2020. Look, I could sit here and complain all day about it. But I actually, I had a cool year for a myriad of reasons, and we're going to talk about them tonight. And I got some major announcements to make about what I've been doing and things for the future and my Kickstarter. Cool announcement. And what else did I have to say? Yeah, let's go. Let's have fun. I'm going to switch the tunes. I'm going to switch over to a really awesome record I've been listening to. And it's funny, these algorithms that pick up tunes and say that, and pull the signal. Why is this popping up? Thank you. What was I saying? Anywho, I'm changing this. I was going to say, when you play vinyl, if it's old and on a defunct label and not in the system, it goes through. So occasionally if you hear me playing classical music, it's probably from a really old record. And I'm going to play some now. If you hear any guitar music or like the intros and all that, that's all my stuff that I bust out and write. Seasonal well-being tea for Amanda. A lot of tea drinking tonight. It is a cold and clammy evening. Yeah. So here, let me get my list out. Dude, I got lots of lists tonight. Look at this. It's like mass lists here. Oh, New Year's Day is in 2 days. And normally I go to Coney Island and I do the polar bear plunge with all the other polar bear weirdos. And it's a party. It's a really big, crazy event. Thousands of people go swimming, no matter how cold. If it's really cold, not many people show up. Wimps. I've been doing it now 8, 9 years. Something like that. It's definitely more than 7 years. And I have a bunch of friends that go with me every year. My kids do it occasionally. There we go. And this year, a lot of people message me like, hey, they canceled Polar Bear. And I'm like, how do you cancel that? It's just going swimming in the ocean. So as an official event, it's canceled. The real people are all going to go do it. And instead of going to Coney Island to do it, why would I do that when I live literally a stone throw to the beach? Okay? So I'm doing it here. At noon, it's going to be broadcast live. I wish I could do it on YouTube live, but you have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live off your iPhone. Not cool. So I might have to do it. I'm getting there. I'm almost at 600, and it's been moving. So please subscribe if you can. I'm going to either use Instagram or Facebook. Most likely, it's going to be Instagram, but Facebook I get a bigger crowd. I don't know. We'll see. So maybe it's going to be Facebook. You know what? It's going to have to be Facebook Live. And okay, so I have too many friends on Facebook now. I hit the limit. So, but I think you can still see my stuff because I post it all public. So go Adam Cardone. It's me with this hat on. It's literally this. I even think I have these glasses. This is my Facebook profile. Anywho, that's that. Now, let's keep moving. My Behind the Devil's Curtain show is on UFOs. Do some research. Look up, what's his face? Bob Lazar. Go watch some Bob Lazar stuff. We're gonna talk a lot about him, and I want you guys to know a little bit about him. So Bob Lazar. Look at whatever you can. There's a Netflix movie that I didn't like, which you should still maybe see. You'll get something out of it. You can do both if you sign into 2 devices. PM me on that. We'll chat with that. I'm learning now, but I would well, you can. Yeah, I understand, Amanda. Yes, you can split it and do. She's referring to in the chat about sending the signal. This stuff drives me nuts. I'm such Mr. Live show guy, not digital. So yeah, guys, go do your UFO homework. When I'm done with that episode, you're gonna have a whole list of things to go look up. You're gonna love it. I'm having a blast researching it. The other thing I want to say, I've had a solid group of people that show up all the time I do these shows. I really want to thank you, all of you, everybody in this chat. It means a lot, and I want to ask you a favor. That is, tell me what you liked about the show, what you want to see more of, what kind of things you look for in a YouTube show. Yeah, let me know. I'm going to make the show better. All the donations that people throw at me go right into the show. All the suggestions you guys give me, I take. Anytime someone gives me a suggestion on a piece of equipment or an idea, or like somebody the other day, might have been Libra Liz, threw out something about running the bulls or something, and it was like, that's my new episode. So anytime you guys give me ideas, I really do listen closely. So please, tonight, write them in the chat. So you can private message me if you feel uncomfortable doing that, because you can get messages on YouTube. But here's the chat. I'm here to talk. So go ahead. This is why I do live shows. Yeah. All right. So my major announcement, I'm going to do a little later in. But I wanted to talk about a little bit more about this year. And I wanted to talk about what I want to do next year. The other episode on Monday, I kept saying, like, I'm trying to focus on the positive. I could sit here and say I had a bad year. Yes, I had things happen that weren't cool. But doesn't that happen to people normally every year? The difference this year is we've all had a lot of things happen to all of us, right? Lot. But all of us, globally. That's the major difference. I don't ever remember anything like that when I was a kid. There's always been crazy wars and disasters and things that'll show up. But this one's a little wacky. This is on a scale that is very strange. So if I say, yeah, I knew people that died, blah, blah. Yeah, everybody did this year. Everybody does normally anyhow. It's just there's a few more this year. It's definitely more of not good. The job thing's bad. I could go on and on. But what I did do is I discovered how resourceful I am and my friends are. And I'm writing an essay on it now. I'm trying to like really feel it out and write it down and organize it of what I gained. I would say my favorite thing that I started to do is I started reading a lot again. As soon as the lockdown happened last spring, I started. But in the last few months, I took it from just reading for fun to reading to really learn some things. And I decided to go with ancient philosophy. So for me, that's what it was. Like today, I woke up and I started reading something I always wanted to know about. I'll bring it up. Again, here's a little homework for anybody watching. Totally interesting. I've been reading a lot of Seneca, Aurelius. I've been reading lots of about Diogenes because he didn't write anything. I've been reading a lot of Epicurus. And I started doing a, hey, Jimmy D. Konbawa. Or Ohayo gozaimasu for you right now, I believe, right? Yeah, it's the morning. Ohayo. Genki desu ka? So I've been reading those philosophers, but I haven't been delving hardcore into Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Now, I do know a lot about them, but they're more of Diogenes' time. They're Alexander the Great's era, around that time. So I'm going to start with Plato in the middle, right? And I'm going to, he's in between Socrates and Aristotle. He's the guy in the middle for teaching purposes. And something I knew a little bit about, which is his cave analogy. And I'll throw it out there. You can listen a little bit, and then I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I'm in the middle of it, and it's deep, and it's making my brain go. But he has this weird little... The other thing is he writes in play form. So instead of being like, here's my philosophy, he writes it in like a dialogue form, using his teacher as the teacher in the story. It's kind of interesting. So here it is. Imagine people in a cave chained to a wall, and in front of them, there's like a cave wall, and behind them, there's a light source, a fire, like the sun, and it shines this way. So they can see their shadow, and like the shadows of anything that walks behind them, they can see on the wall. Now, these people are chained in a position where they can never, ever look behind them and see what's behind them. So they live their entire lives this way. They're fed, they live, they do everything this way. Their only reality they know of is those shadows. That's it. That's their world. They have no idea what that is. And then, okay, so imagine that. What does that mean? Now, imagine one of those persons is able to turn their head and see, right? The light and the sun, and then it starts to break it down and unpack it in details that's fascinating. If you look up Plato cave analogy, you'll see a bunch of stuff. And so I started with that today, and it's blowing my mind. But I've been reading a lot. If I pick my book of the year, my favorite read of the year, hands down, I can't believe I didn't read this earlier. I'll do the hand cam right here. Hand cam. Letters from a Stoic, Marcus Aurelius, folks. This right here is literally, it's one of the greatest books I've ever read. And I'm still reading it. I'm not finished. Oh, this here was a present for my little buddy Ryder. Jimmy D. Daikaiju Eiga. Boku wa Gojira Otaku. Uh-oh, he got one. Yes, I am a Godzilla nerd, aka otaku. I have a giant wall of Godzilla in there. Jimmy, did you see Shin Godzilla? Shin Godzilla. Excellent new Godzilla movie. Yeah, so this is my book of the year. Letters from a Stoic. I'm halfway through it, and it's blown my mind. Every day, whatever I read, I have to sit and process it and take notes, and I trip out on it's. There'll be an essay. I love how the essays start off. Sugoi desu. Hai. Sugoi. Ne. Like, you know, they all have names, these little letters. On Conquering the Conqueror. Right? It's like, okay. Then you read it, and your mind's blown. Like, they have little cute titles that might draw you in, but... On Philosophy and Pedigrees. On the Relativity of Fame. I mean, folks, these are timeless. So, that's what I did this year. I want to really focus this year on reading everything I can on these guys, but I really want to then start going into Aristotle, Plato's school, and Socrates, and I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna go even more that way. I want to learn all the ancients, and then I'm gonna move into the more modern stuff. I really am more fascinated with the ancient stuff now. I like the context in which it's presented. I don't know. Just me. Jimmy D says, any thoughts on becoming a werewolf to overcome... You're referring to, as an episode for Behind the Devil's Curtain, I'm assuming. Well, Dr. LeVay wrote a great essay on how to become a werewolf. I don't know if anybody's ever read it. It's something... I don't know if I'll do it on that specifically, but the concept of ritualistically transforming in a ritualistic framed setting, yes, I am interested. Yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe not on exactly the werewolf, but that could be part of it. Good idea. I like it. That's what I always talk about in that other show of mine about the ritual stuff. It's like, to overcome insecurity and improve confidence, you can play act things. You can dramatize them in a ritual setting. And whenever I do this, it's because I'm framing it. I'm saying, in that world of that, you can play act and transform into a wolf. Sounds crazy, but it's not. Films, music of the year. Someone asked me, what are your favorite films? I honestly, I did something. You can't see that away, but yeah, confronting your fear through a ritual. Yes. Jimmy D, I'm going to answer your question in 1 second. There is an answer. I was going to say, hold on. We were talking about films of the year and TV and, your favorite shows. And honestly, 3 months ago, I basically stopped watching TV. I've watched a few movies on the TV. 2, to be exact. I watch YouTube videos, because I'm doing research, but there's no TV shows anymore. And movies, I haven't seen one in a while. I actually covered my TV. I put a cover over it. So it's complete. I bought a new TV in the summer, a big one, and I covered it. It's pretty funny. If you want to change your life, cover your TV. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, you leave it out. Like here, I was playing it the other day. You leave it out. You'll play it. If you're learning coin tricks, leave your coins out. Right? If you cover your TV, it makes it an action to go uncover it, to watch it, change your life. So I don't have any favorite. I mean, Color Out of Space is probably the last film I saw in the movie theaters, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty good. Favorite record? I didn't buy any new music except for this. The new Benediction record, David Ingram. excellent heavy metal record. Excellent. It's got a little classic metal. It's got a little, look at that cover. It's got a little bit of thrash. It's got a little bit of kind of hardcore too. It's kind of cool, man. This is great. So that's about it for me on new music. I've been listening exclusively to mass amounts of opera and classical. Another thing that I'm constantly learning about. I do listen to a lot of jazz, but every time I want to go to the new stuff, there's so much old stuff, and it's good. So, I don't know. Yeah. My goals for 2021. Let me answer Jimmy D's question. And then I'm going to go into my goals. Because I think you guys will like this. Because you can apply this to you're probably all the same ones. But, Jimmy D says, he heard something about confronting your fear through a ritual. Not sure, but thought you would be the dude to ask. I do know about this. That is referring to Dr. LeVay's essay on becoming a werewolf, which I believe is in Devil's Notebook. And in a nutshell, so the concept is using fear to transform yourself into this wolf character, this creature. Metaphorically, but you still ritualize it. And it's funny, I've done this before, okay? In high school. I haven't done this since high school. Well, I've done it, but not formally. So here's what it is. In the book, it says, find a place that's scary to you. For me, it was abandoned houses. When I was in high school, we used to find abandoned houses and sneak in them and party. I'm sure lots of you did. Yeah. So that's what we did. And I remember going to them alone too, occasionally, just to snoop around and hang out. And being really disturbed. Like, just, you're alone in an abandoned house in the woods, and it's at night, it's scary. So the concept is this, and I'll tell you right now, it works. You go to the place, and you stay, and you let the scary scare you. You literally let your imagination kind of bug you out, and just as you get scared, you leave. You know, you start to see faces in the dark, whatever. You start to let your imagination play trick. You literally let it happen. And when you get a little like, okay, this is kind of weird, you leave. And then you do it again. Maybe you wait. I think I waited a week or two. You do it again. And then on the third time, you don't leave. But you've brought with you things to make you think you're a werewolf. Maybe some fur, some dog urine is suggested, I think, in the book. Or did I do that? I wanted it to smell animal, right? And you literally, like, let yourself transform into a werewolf. You visualize it. And if you've ever gone to acting school, it's the same, just not as extreme. When I went to acting school, we had a few guru teachers that did do exercises with us that did lean to that kind of religious experience, I'll call it. A transcendental experience. And ever since then, as an art guy, and I don't consider myself anything other than a performing artist of sorts. And I look at all of these mediums that I do as kind of the same ball with different outfits, kind of. But I always was interested in the idea of using catharsis to better your performance and allowing it to happen on stage or in an exercise to discover something. Which is why, to me, ritual magic fits with art. Because to me, it's one and the same, almost. Yeah. So there you go. There's your answer. I hope that made sense. Let me know if that made sense. Sometimes I say these things and I assume they're pretty easy to understand, and sometimes I've told people some of my thoughts on what magic is, and most of you know. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. You're right, Jimmy. It's this. It is the same, but imagine, yeah, making it more extreme and yeah, just taking it a little more seriously, a little more planning out. That's one of the things people don't realize is about the idea of a ritual is how much work you put into it. You can't be lazy to yourself, is what the symbology is. And that's what creating a good ritual is. I forget which Stoic said it. It might have been Aurelius. He's like, look, you can't be cheap with yourself, you know? Ah, the great Peter Benedetti is in the house. Wow, Peter Benedetti. I don't know if you're reading the chat. I'm going to read your chat, man. It's very cool. He said, I did the same thing as a teenager. Great haunted memories that still inspire me today. Yes, I still hold them too. I can feel that feeling, you know? There was an abandoned mental institution I went to a lot. I've heard of this one. It's upstate New York, if I remember. A lot of stories about that one. And I hear you can still go. Maybe we should do the old guy version of this, Peter. We'll make a project. Anybody in here now, Peter Benedetti, go follow his Instagram. Yo, buddy, put your Instagram handle in here. He's got an amazing Instagram. He's an artist, a visual artist, and a tarot card producer. And you're working on your second tarot deck, which is, the first one's mind-blowing. Yeah. The tip about leaving out what you're working on helps. Oh, okay. Leaving out what you're working on. Explain that a little more, Amanda. Sometimes I'm a little dumb with reading texts. And what was on Geraldo? I have very horrible short-term memory, but crazy good long-term memory. Yeah. So, in 2021, I want to learn more about the Greek guys. I'm going to the Greeks. Right now, I'm kind of dwelling in the Romans, but we're going to go to the Greeks. I need my Kickstarter to hit 1,000. It's at 600 now. It's what is it now? It's literally at 596. 4 more. If there are 4 of you watching that aren't subscribers, hit the button. Get me to 6. It's like a 2-second job. At Peter Benedetti, brother. Go look at his art. And I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your ass. I really like your art. If I was a rich dude, I would be the guy that's buying every collection off of you. And not to resell, just to hang it, because it's cool stuff. It's got a really dark vibe, but it's not uninviting. You know, it brings you in. It makes you want to know what that is. And that's why I like your art. I am writing a book on a subject I have never discussed publicly, but I've been hinting at it. The abandoned mental place. It might have been on Geraldo. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it's a famous place if it's the same one I'm thinking of. And maybe Peter doesn't want to bust its cover, because maybe we can still go party there. The over 40 party and abandoned mental hospital club. I'm down. Let's do it. It might be a good episode. Folks, writing something down. No certain episode. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Working on that, folks. That's how that works. Yeah, I got an idea. Yep, guys, if you have ideas for shows, throw them in here, because I will do them. So basically, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to like make this show better, and anytime you guys throw ideas out, I'm on it. Making more art. Yeah, dude, make art. So that's my other goal for the year. Get my Kickstarter up. Finish my book. My book is Here's the thing about my book. I don't know how many pages it's going to be. It's like... I don't know. I've been writing like a freak. I've been writing for I started it a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and then I paused. And then I started again, and I'm having fun, but I haven't released the subject yet because it's of a very, very controversial subject. When I've told people what I'm doing, they're just like, oh, that's horrible. Other people are like, that's cool. I like it. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm doing it from a very clinical point of view, and soon you'll know what it is. I want to learn how to make more food this year from scratch. And I mean scratch. Like, I've been making a lot of things from, like, bare bones start, just flour and water and whatever I need. And I want to learn more. And I got my grandma's recipe book, so get ready. I'm going to be making a lot of stuff. My health has been pretty good. I'm on a very, I've been taking vitamins now on a regular basis for, I don't know, a few years. And I'm not the kind of guy that likes to be taking pills. I hate that habit of, taking pills. But I've been taking 3. I take a vitamin D once in a while. I take Boswellia serrata, which is frankincense. And I've been taking that for arthritis. And I've been taking fish oil, which everybody probably should take. It's a really good supplement. Krill. Krill is stronger. Also good for cholesterol and, joints and whatnot. I've been staying healthy all through COVID. I've been trying to keep healthy, surfing as much as I can. Push-ups, lots of push-ups, daily push-ups. I don't go to the gym, and I stay in shape. Look, it's just all home stuff. And I've always been that way. It's not because of COVID. I've been living this way. A lot of the COVID ideas, how people are living, I've been doing my whole life. The no job bit and just looking for jobs constantly, that's one. Being very thrifty with how you spend money, because I'm self-employed. It's all about me running my own show. And so I have to make decisions to plan ahead for that. If you want to be an artist full time, it's not easy. There's a lot of sacrifices. So, yeah, my health's good. I'm going to drink more water. I do drink soda occasionally, very rarely. But water, yeah, I need more water intake. For magic, for my own personal magical journey of being a magician, somebody asked me the other day, what are you working on? And I was like, well, you see how at the beginning of this show, I just made up something on the spot? I do that a lot. And then out of that, I'll pull out of it moments to add to my show. In the old days, you could do a show and just keep the same show and run it your whole life. One act you could do. Then, after that, let's say vaudeville, people had a show, they would tour it, people would go see it. They did this thing called Vitaphones. Vitaphones were, the vaudeville people would get their act filmed, and then they would show it in front of movies. And people would show up. Oh yeah, that's Moxie, bro. I'm drinking it now. And they were like, oh, I've seen this. They wouldn't go see the live act because they'd seen the Vitaphone of the guy, doing a sword balancing act or whatever it was. And so I've been making a living doing the same acts over and over again for 20 years. The same card tricks, the same stage tricks. But on YouTube, people get bored quick. You can't keep doing the same act. Now, my gig is sleight of hand magic. And here's the problem. When you see me do a show, let's say at a nightclub, and you see me on stage doing one trick, that one trick was workshopped for years before it went on stage. Years and years. So I can't come up with something and just be like, here it is. I mean, what I did tonight is just me goofing around. But honestly, if it's an act in a show, that ain't happening. I'm never going to make an act up day of show. There's no way. How would I know the build and the nuance? I can't do it. So for me to come up with magic like this, it's just not happening. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. So learning a magic trick and sticking it into my professional repertoire is not an easy gig, okay? Not easy. If you watch my Instagram or my magic that I throw out there, they're really short clips, and they're all me doing sleight of hand things. So even if you know the secret, it's still impressive because, it's stuff that's tricky to do. I like throwing that out into the world. If I want to really fool you and blow your mind, it's got to be live. I need you sitting here. I can do it over a Zoom chat, but it's not the same. So, honestly, me working on magic is a lifelong thing, and I have acts in my head. I'm not exaggerating. I've been working on them for 20 years, and they're not done. And some of them are very simple tricks that I'm processing how to pull it off. My straitjacket act has a bit in it that took me 2 years to perfect. So, I have other tricks. Like when you see me doing the card stuff, that took about 5 years to get on stage. So, that's why. So here's what I'm working on. You've seen me do silver dollar stuff, right? You see me all do this stuff, right? So here's the deal. The silver dollar magic that I do, there's a famous thing that is called a coin ladder. It looks like a tall piece of wood with like a thing at the top, and you put money in it, coins, and when it goes in, it goes down there's little pegs on the board, and the coin goes like a pachinko machine to the pot at the bottom. It's like a crazy piggy bank. You go, and it goes into the thing. It kind of looks cool. So in the old days, magicians would make money appear and throw it in this gadget because it's kind of neat. It's called a coin ladder. They're rare. They're very old-fashioned, very rare. I have one that's literally a Rolls Royce version. And I have done it live. I came up with an act that has a little bit of a story in it. It's a framed story. And my goal is to film it, make a recording of it, and show it. It's going to take a lot of work. And bada bing, bada boom. Somebody just joined the list. Ashworth 77. You, my friend, go on the list. Grazie. Where is my list? Where is my list? Oh, here it is. Thank you, brother. All going to a good cause. Ashworth 77 on the list. Thank you. So, developing magic. I'm trying to come up with a way to film it so it is worthy of showing you on this medium, on a Instagram, Facebook, YouTube medium. Yeah, that's one, and that's going to take a while. My other one is I'm working on a cups and balls workshop. 2 of them, one for beginners, one for magicians. One of them I'm going to teach my version of cups and balls. It's not easy, and I have a feature in it that a lot of people like. Something most people don't do. So that's going to be in my lecture. What else? Oh, yeah. So for magic, that's it. I'm going to be doing more magic classes online. If anybody's interested in learning magic, I do private Zoom lessons. And I have people all over that I teach globally. And there's different ways to do it. And there's one way to learn magic is you just learn a bunch of easy stuff and you're done. You just learn a couple easy tricks from me. Or you learn a couple easy ones and a couple hard ones, which is how I like to teach. Or you take the class where it's a monthly. You do one a month. That's the hard stuff. It's like learning how to play the piano. Same. You do a little bit every day. Let's move it. Let's keep it moving. I don't want to waste everybody's time tonight. I want to keep this moving. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's all I ask. Dude, when you guys tip, I freak out. I love it. It goes right in the show. But the subscribe button is definitely important because I got to get to that 1,000. When I hit 1,000, the whole thing changes. I'm able to do a lot more. So that's what I'm going for. So if you're new, just hit the subscribe. Let's keep moving. I got some news here I'm going to announce in a second. Oh, yeah. So New Year's Day is coming up. Yeah, we're doing Polar Bear here. I'm getting excited. If anybody's ever interested in doing it wherever you live, I will say this. Even if you don't live near the beach, go to the lake. Go to the pond. Go outside somewhere cold. This is only cool if it's cold. If it's not cold, do an ice bucket one. Fill a bunch of ice in a bathtub. Symbolically, ritualistically, New Year's Day, half the world's got a hangover. You might have a hangover. I will not have a hangover, but I will be getting up early and going swimming. I always thought, if you symbolically start the year with a mind over matter exercise, you are setting the tone. You are setting the bar high. You're like, look, I ain't screwing around, right? It's a symbol. The act of getting out and going. If you have a hangover, go do it. It'll wake you up. It'll cure it like that. They say it's very healthy for your circulation, your nerves, your endorphins. And if you do, my recommendation is jump in. Make sure you get your head under. Try to stay in for a minute. If you stay in for a minute, the euphoria kicks in. You do get a high from it. We have people here that do it all the time. They swim every week. And they don't look cold. Yeah, it'll change your life. Just like making your bed every day is another one. They have cold machines. Yes, they do. That's cryotherapy. It's real. The Siberian Russians were right. Cold water cures lots of things. They swim in cold water. Oh yeah. Amanda. She was asking about some horror films. Here's the list. I couldn't find it. I have it. I'm going to rattle these off quick, so grab a pencil. Here's my master list of horror films I love. Old and new. Well, you know what's not on here? These are modern. I didn't put too old. Like, I didn't leave on here the classic ones. Like, well, here, I got to put this on here. I'll put one. There's one missing. But here it is. Here it is. Here's my master list of horror films. If you're cooped up this winter, try one of these. Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Evil Dead 2. Suspiria, the original. Dawn of the Dead, the original. Night of the Living Dead, the original. Blackula. The Thing, the original. Or not the original. The Thing, the 80s one. The original is called The Thing from Another World. The Devils. Return of the Living Dead. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. A lot of part 2s in here. Dracula 1979. Rosemary's Baby. The Fly. The newer one. Jeff Goldblum. American Werewolf in London. Phantasm. All of them. There's 5 of them. The Exorcist. Friday the 13th. Part 4. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Abominable Dr. Phibes. Hereditary. The new Suspiria, the remake. And Bride of Frankenstein. And that's my master list of horror films. Of course, there's ones on there that I couldn't put. I've seen all of those movies a million times. I love them. I could talk about each one of those. I could do an entire episode on. I really like those movies. Yeah. 2021 or 2020, I played a lot of Dungeon Crawl Classics. I played a lot of Dungeon Degenerates. These are board games and role-playing games. We played a lot of Munchkin. We played Munchkin Dungeon. We played The Thing. Evil Dead 2. We played... Pandemic. Cthulhu, of course. What other games did we play a lot of? I played... Hellboy. I played a lot of solo Hellboy. The board game. But Dungeon Crawl Classics probably wins for hours of play. DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classics. I did a boardgasm on how to Dungeon Master, and I talked a lot about it. It's my favorite role-playing game of all time, and it's a newer one. And Dungeon Degenerates is my favorite new board game in the last 20-some years, 30 years, I don't know. Yeah. It's my favorite. It's set up you can see it. It's set up right there all the time. I don't take it down because I play turns. I'll take a half a turn and then not play for a week. And then I'll do 8 turns and then play 3 days in a row. I also made a list of my influences this year, and I wanted to read this off. Final one. These are the entertainers and musicians that took me all the way. Like, I saw them and I said, hey, I really like this. It's I get it on many levels. It's not just a one thing. First and foremost, Mr. Rogers, Elvis. Those two, Mr. Rogers, Elvis. The next one's 2 people together. Doug Henning and David Copperfield. I balled them together. Pee Wee Herman. The Fonz, the character. Jello Biafra. The Ramones. Liberace. Anton Szandor LaVey. Vincent Price. Gary Gygax. And Oderus Urungus, a.k.a. Dave Brockie. Most of those are my artist heroes of sorts. The Fonz is a character, of course, but the morale that the Fonz represented, I really liked. I was amazed that they gave Fonzie magic powers. He's basically Elvis with magic powers. I mean, Fonzie's probably one of my biggest magician influences, believe it or not. I always tell the story about he's my influence for the milk can underwater escape. Not the magician, him. So I got to give him credit. All right, we're getting near the end here, and I wanted to talk about my Kickstarter and what I'm doing. If you're new to the channel, hit that stupid subscribe button. My God, it's so hard to get subscribers on here. It really is. I only have 4 more to go to 600. It's like a big number for me. So some of you know this. I had a Kickstarter that was, I would say, pretty darn successful. The Satanic Playing Cards. Live on Kickstarter. Officially endorsed by the Church of Satan. And there's one of the Jokers. Yeah. Oh, here's the Lilith card. So, basically, we made 14 grand. We made 14,300 and, I don't know, $20. It's like, I can't believe it. It was successful. The cards are coming. The t-shirts are coming. I have 2 different, look at this. We're picky with shirts. We've ordered from a few different printers to see how they look. And they're looking good, folks. So if you put a t-shirt on your, as an add-on, not as an add-on, the funds to get a t-shirt, you're going to be psyched. They're really good. And here's one that I've got that I've been washing to make sure, like, we're checking to see, like, how the prints are. But here's my announcement. Questions and comments. Please listen close. I need questions and comments here. Me and the artist, Stuart Palm, have been working together for 10 to maybe 15 years now on various projects. Little ones, mostly. But this one's different. We made together, you know, $14,300. And we were very pleased. And so now we're taking that and we're going to make a company. And the company, it's going to have its own setup and everything. Did I already lose this? Where did it go? Here it is. Bam. The company's called M. Diaboli. That is our brand. That is the brand name. Um, I'll tell you about the name in a second. We basically came up with, it's a lifestyle brand for those who find comfort in the dark. That's it. I mean, it's going to be a lifestyle brand. We have the flagship, the cards, the satanic playing cards, and that t-shirt. This t-shirt's called the King of Clubs. Folks, it's a really awesome design. It really is. It's like, so the first products we're going to have on the site, a lot of people have been asking, hey man, I ordered 3 decks. I want more. Can I get more? The answer is yes. Anybody that wants decks can get them. Not yet. We got to make them. We're making them now. But what we can get done quick are the t-shirts. So if you put a t-shirt on your thing, I sent the questionnaires out. Answer them, because you're going to get your shirt early, okay? Like really fast. So as soon as we get the company M Diaboli ready to roll, which should be very soon, we're going to start the t-shirts and taking orders for cards. The t-shirts, there's going to be 2 types. There's going to be the ones that we get digital printed, like any shirt that you get now is a digital print, basically. And you know what? When they first started digitally printing stuff, it was now it's pretty darn good. I mean, really good. If I saw this shirt 25, 30 years ago, I'd be like, that's a good print. I still like hand-done silkscreen. 1 color, white on black. I love the look. I like the way they age. So we are going to be doing a special edition t-shirt sooner than later. Right here, that picture of the doctor is going to be made into a t-shirt. Hand silkscreen here in Rockaway Beach. And it's going to be probably ready to ship February. We're going to go quick on that. We're going to get it up, and we're going to get them made, and we're shipping them out. So those are the products that are going to be available right away. It's going to be the King of Clubs, the Dr. Hand Done Special Edition Limited Print shirt, and the cards. Now, here's what I want to know. What do you want to see us do? We have a lot of shirts on the way. Really good ones. Really good ones. Stuff that I'm picky. I don't wear all shirts. But throw some ideas out. Now, we have one of my goals for this year is to do another Kickstarter on a really neat idea that I'm working on with him now, and I can't say what it is yet. It's going to require a lot of effort. It's not a tarot deck, just if you're thinking. Although we've chatted about it, and as Peter, if he's watching, will tell you, it is maddening. It's a lot of cards to draw. So M Diaboli, when we were trying to come up with a company name, we were really like, I threw out for the satanic cards an empowering phrase, Memento Diaboli, inspired by Memento Mori, which is a Stoic principle. And I thought, well, what I wanted to capture was the idea of where things come from. A lot of things that people hold near and dear to their heart, they don't realize the origins of them. Most things that we know near and dear, the origins are shamanism. The shaman invented everything we know. Science, poetry, religion, medicine. He's the guy. He's the pioneer. And when the Puritans took over, they quickly pointed out that the shaman was pure evil and the devil. So I thought, wow, the phrase, and I looked it up in Latin, and I had a dear friend help me check the grammar, but Memento Diaboli, it means remember the devil. Remember where things come from. You think you know, but, Christmas holiday. A lot of things that we think of as sacred and holy, their origins actually are usually not what you want to hear. And so Memento Diaboli is a and we M Diaboli. That was it. It came out. We wrote it out. I even did this. The first thing I do is I write it on a piece of paper. Right? And then I do this. And then Stuart did that. And I said, yep, that's it. We own the website, all the domains and all that stuff. So that's how I work. Picking a name's not easy because you got to live with it. It's got to have a punch to it and it pops out. And we both like it. I hope you guys like it. We needed a name that is easy to say, rolls, looks good on a tag. You know, same old, same old. But yeah, I thought tonight was the night to tell you. I can't wait. I'm excited. People have been telling me for years that I should have some sort of product line. I'm working on a candle. I'm collaborating with a professional candle company that does handmade candles. I can't tell you about that yet. It's going to be cool. Boutique candles. Fancy little boutique candle company. More on that later. That's going to be its own episode. Ooh. See? New episode idea. This is how it works, man. It just comes and you got to write it down. All right. There you go. My dream for this show is to have it where it is monetized enough where I have a budget so I can go do field trips. I have a couple field trips already planned for this year that I want to pull off. Yeah. And that is why I'm trying to bust this show. I like doing it. I see I have some people here that are enjoying themselves. Awesome. That makes me happy. And I'm trying to throw out... I like inspiring people to then go do their own research. Because that's what does it to me. I'll watch somebody or I'll read a book and then I go down the hole myself. And I hope I'm doing that for you guys. The UFO episode, like I'm already throwing out stuff to go look up that'll help you enjoy the episode more. Oh, on that one, I was talking to somebody the other day about opera and why I like going to the opera or listening to it at home. And it's because of that. It's because I bring something to it. I spend a little time researching it, learning about the history, the original production, when it was done, who wrote it, why they wrote it, what the libretto, where they got it from. So, and then when you finally sit down, you're bringing something to the table, and the satisfaction is the two meeting together. I think that's the secret to all things that make you happy. Things that are easy, accessible, don't do that. The things that you put the work into are the ones that really are rewarding. Eric Carr, grazie. Eric Carr says, that's a nice bass. And, yeah, this is like an 82 BC Rich Mockingbird NJ series. And the best part of it, look. Neck through. You don't see neck throughs anymore. I don't know why. It's got killer sustain. You won't be able to hear here. It's like, I don't know if you can hear that. It's like, it definitely vibrates. I've had this bass 20 years. I've made a million recordings. I've taken it all over Earth. It's been in many countries on many stages. It's not my original bass though. Oh, you know my opening song? That is recorded on all of this. Yeah. Yeah, this is the bass. Yep. Yeah, this is it. And it's got this weird weight system. I've had this thing for so long, I don't even know why. Oh, shit. My cat just fell. And so did Zombo and everything else. That is what I call in my household a toy avalanche. Now, I'm going to tell you a story before I move Zombo up here. Hi, buddy. What's up, brother? So, I don't know. You see these massive toys shelves behind me. I've had them all fall over a couple times in my life. It's called a toy avalanche. It happens. This was made by the artist Adam Chiat, and it was a custom job. It's one of my favorite things in the world. It's the size. Look how big it is. And the detail, handmade. Look at this guy. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite. Anybody that wants to know about my cat, people give me things they don't like. They go, I don't like this, it's ugly, or I don't like it because it's cursed. I have lots of cursed items here that people got rid of. And this was a piece of taxidermy somebody didn't want because they hated it. Was such a crappy job. The head's crooked. The face is crooked. I said, it's a bobcat. I'll use it for educational purposes so people can see how large bobcats are. It's a big animal. And then I decorated him with a necklace made of my own severed fingers. They're casts of my fingers. Sometimes I call him Voodoo Kitty. Yeah. I don't have pets right now. I like pets. I'm very busy. And then these guys that just fell. It's a good excuse for me to chat about my toys. This is the $2 ventriloquist dummies that I'm always raving about on my shows. They were $2. They're ventriloquist dummies. They're not very strong or stable. They're definitely cheap. And this is the little boy. Yeah, you just saw a toy avalanche. It happens. I don't get upset about it. I've had it where they break into a million pieces, and I just fix them. I'm like, man, it's just toys, and I'm not selling them. So, oh, someone's shoe just fell. Let's read the chat. I love the old. Oh yeah. So the old school BC Riches are cool. For a minute, my band was sponsored by them and getting a couple free ones here and there. The newer ones were, unless they were the handmade ones, they weren't very good. The wood just seemed clunky. They felt off. I don't know what it is. Maybe the newest ones are great. Those 80s ones from the early 80s were amazing. It sounds really good. I wonder what kind of pickups these are. I don't even know. My original bass that I actually did a lot with got stolen at a Karen Black show, believe it or not. But in Toilet Boys, I played all over the planet with it, and it was a cheap Sears bass, like a Sears Fender. It was a Korean Fender, basically. And I had all the parts redone. New pickups and hardware, and, I had it beefed. And I made a lot of records with that, too. But this one on recording sounds great. It's got killer sustain, and the action's great. It stays in tune. And, my BC Rich. You saw it in the guitar players see things like that. They're like, hey, what's that? All right, I'm going to wrap this up, folks. I got things to do, projects to work on, magic to work on. I might work on my coin ladder tonight. If the spirit moves me in a little bit, I might jump on Instagram a bit. I'm trying to build my Instagram up a little bit more, too. Instagram's weird. They don't give you the tools that YouTube does. It's not a TV studio yet. They're all trying to do the same thing, which is weird. I wish they would really keep them separate. But, like Twitter has stories now. Why? I don't know. Anywho, somebody donated tonight. Assworth, you rule. Thank you. I'm flattered when anybody throws anything at me, and that means a lot. So anybody else does that, it goes right into the show. No BS. I'm trying to make this show as good as possible. I really am. I don't like shows that don't have content or anything to learn from. You got to either be learning something or it's literally a story of sorts. These guys that sit around and play video games and don't talk about anything, I don't know how that works. So that's it. I'm trying to come up with good content so that you guys have fun, learn something. And again, I'm trying to inspire you to go do your own research. So again, if you have ideas, like, what's his name tonight? I think, yeah, Jimmy D threw out there tonight the idea of the werewolf transformation exercise. And that got my brain going in all a million directions. Like, you know, honestly, that's its own episode. Folks, this year was nuts. I ain't gonna lie. Nuts! But it was very good in certain ways. It made me realize who my real friends were, who my enemies were, who people were that I'll never trust ever again because of how they reacted to things and behaved under certain stress. You know, they always say stress makes the good and bad come out of people. And I relearned work ethic. And on that, I raise a glass of Moxie. Good work ethic. Stick-to-itiveness. And being honest with yourself. I raise a glass to 2020. And I know a lot of you that I chat with in here do the same. William's chatting now about it. That's right. Really, it's all about transformation. Those who fight change suffer. And the other thing I learned this year that blew my mind, I've been saying it a lot. And it's in my essay that I've been writing for a few days. Well, I started yesterday. The main thing I learned is happiness isn't something you can go get. Because if you're going to get it, you ain't going to get it. Fact. It's a symptom of living according to your nature. If you're doing what you're doing and you have a good work ethic and you're living according to your nature, the side effect is happiness. And that's what that's the thing I learned this year. And it works. Yeah. Cheers with decaf black tea. There's a little caffeine in Moxie, I gotta say, and I normally don't drink caffeine at night, but I am tonight. Because tomorrow's New Year's Eve. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do like I normally do my work. It's supposed to rain. If it doesn't rain, we're gonna be on the beach. So, I might go on live. If you want to see me randomly jumping on live to things, follow me on Instagram. Cardone Magic. And if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. Folks, it has been one heck of a 2020. I will see you on New Year's Day live. Most likely on Facebook. I'll advertise it before. And yeah, check out my Instagram, Cardone Magic. I've had a great year, a productive year. I got my feet back in the game of learning and growing. William, quit drinking alcohol, stop taking, yes, stop, yes, self-mastery, everybody. Yeah, not easy. It's work. If it's easy, you're not doing it right. Usually that's it. That whole, if it's easy, you're doing it right. That's toxic positivity. I don't have time for that. Happy New Year's, everybody. 2021 is going to be awesome. I thank each and every one of you in here for being a part of this show, and I'll see you next year. I'm going to take us out with a little bit of this.